Quiet cat.
Yeah, I know it. Hey, welcome back. I'm intern right there. We've got a little series going on our, if you like to travel, which who doesn't like to travel, but our experience into traveling into Baja. We drove down there, and so this is our take on our experience down there with the people and everything we saw, right?
Yes.
So I've been down there plenty of times. You have never been down there.
I've only ever been in all-inclusive Mexico.
Yeah, like Cancun.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've been there, gosh, I can't even tell you, a ton of times in Cancun.
A lot of times.
But
and we were just there in January before this trip in February.
Yeah. So we decided to go down, just take a drive. Yeah.
Well, truth be told, I have been hounding you for I don't even know how long to tell me all about when you go to Baja, because you support the 7X team, which used to be the 1X team for Honda.
Yeah, but our normal number is 7X.
7X. So you said, well, do you want to just go down there and experience it? And of course, I was like, yes, I would. So that's what originally started this adventure. If you're just joining now, you're on episode 3. So you've missed 2 episodes, which is very important. Go back to episode 1 of the Baja adventure and catch up, because I think that's really important. Really important. Stark is joining us today. I don't know why.
Yeah, so we have the podcast cat.
Yeah, he just came out of the rain. We have 2 cats, Tony Stark and Pepper Potts.
And
Marvel
this one
fans.
is extremely needy.
So needy, as you can tell. Anyway, so today's episode is all about San Quintin.
Yes.
That I spelled wrong on my note card, but
That's
whatever.
all right. That's all right. Our travels from, we stayed in Ensenada for a night, and then our next stop is San Quintin, which I should have got a mileage, but I want to say it's, I don't know, 100 miles down the peninsula from.
Only 100 miles?
Well, it might be a little more.
Us
It might be a little more.
More than 100 miles.
Well,
Like, it felt like more than 100 miles, but we're going to get into why.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God! I'll tell you why. Everything takes
Triple
the time that you think it's gonna take down there to get down there.
Well, and we learned that too, because when you guys are renting bikes, you're in the middle of the night. There's no one on the roads, and it's a lot faster for you to go to point A to point B to point C.
Is that what we're going with?
Sure. And you don't have the intern in the car who's saying it's only 50 kilometers in this section, and you're like, that's advisory. And it's like, no, I'm advising you to
60
go
kilometers is like 36 miles an hour
it's
or
not
whatever.
that slow.
It is. Check
Is
it
it
out.
really?
Yeah.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
It's that slow.
So I think I was part of your speed problem. Or
Yeah,
lack of
because
speed
I
problem.
think I did make the comment at one time that I did say, when we got passed by somebody, I said, this is the first time I've been down here
and been passed. Yeah.
by someone else. We're usually doing the passing.
So realistically, we could have arrived at our destinations a
Oh,
lot
way
faster,
quicker.
but the intern / safety Sally was still at it.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, when we're going from Ensenada to San Quintin, I'm thinking I'm in race mode.
Right.
So I'm thinking this is how long it takes us to go down there.
Right.
But we didn't do that.
And to be truthful with everyone, you were in race mode for the first 3 days, where it was get up in the morning, get ready, get up, let's go, we gotta go, we gotta have breakfast, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, and we gotta be on the road. And it's like, we don't have that same schedule.
No.
Like, we're on vacation. So it took you about 4 days to realize.
It took me 3 or 4 days, to just get out of that.
I think it took
that
you.
mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I was definitely
you were on the Baja route, and you were in race mode. Yeah, which was fine.
Because you don't see anything when you're in that mode. You're just focused. Yeah, just to get to your next
pit.
Pit. And
yeah.
So you're just focused on that.
So why don't we talk about the traffic getting out of Ensenada to start with? Because
Oh
we
my
left
God.
Ensenada on, was it day 3 or whatever it was in
Yeah.
Mexico.
Yeah.
We leave Ensenada, we load up the FJ, we fill her up with fuel, her tiny little gas tank of 19 gallons,
Yeah.
pumping 12 miles a gallon if we're lucky.
Yeah.
She's a little gas sucker.
Yeah.
She really is. But for this adventure, she was perfect.
Yeah.
Like, did a great job.
You know, it was great off-road too. I mean, we'll get into that
I feel like
too.
you wanted to do a
but-
lot more off-road.
Oh, I
but
want to
the
do a
intern
ton
was
of
like,
more off-road. And
let's
that,
not do that.
the Toyota FJ is built for off-road. So.
Mine's not.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's 100% built.
I'm not.
Yeah,
How's
you're
that?
not.
I'm
It
not.
is.
I'm not built for off-road.
Yeah. So our travels out of there, because we stayed in, like we told you in the last episode, was Estero Beach.
Oh, so
Beautiful place to stay. If you ever get a chance, you should book a room
Check
there.
it out.
It's very reasonable.
So reasonable.
Yeah, it's half the cost
beautiful.
of what you get for up here.
Oh.
A third of the cost for the room and all the amenities.
Yeah.
Probably a third of the cost of what you could get up here.
It was really the best room we had on this whole adventure.
Yeah. Yeah.
The room.
The room.
I'm just saying the room because there's more to come that was better.
But the room was
was
really
the best.
good. Yeah.
Yes.
And
it had an amazing view. It was so quiet. Like, I think we had one neighbor that we could see.
well, and it was quiet when we were down there. So
We were in February.
when we were down there for race week, like the BFG tires, they've got all their semis and all that parked down there. All the helicopters are landed and parked
Yeah.
on there. They have a big landing area for helicopters and so it was very quiet when we were there.
Yeah. We didn't have hardly anyone
No.
there. It was nice. Even the restaurant was maybe 3 tables plus us and maybe a couple locals at the bar.
Yeah.
That was
yeah,
it.
That was it.
It was pretty easy.
not a lot.
So we head out of town. Traffic is different than what I am used to.
So just to get to the main highway, so we got to go down Highway 1. So we got to go down Highway 1. So we got to get over to it in Ensenada. And it's kind of a dirt, dusty. It's quite a ways down from where we're at because we're right on the ocean.
Rocky.
And it's
not. It's like a logging road, is what I would compare it to.
Yeah, a rough paved logging road. Yeah. And so you go through town and you finally get to the highway, and of course it's in the middle of town.
Yes.
And we turn south on it, and we're already on the south end, on the very end of Ensenada. It's not very far. We're down. Let's see. We're down past the airport, I believe. We're pretty south.
Right.
And I tell April it's only like 100 miles down. We should be there in
12 hours.
In a couple hours. Yeah, I think it ended up taking like 5 hours or whatever.
He's like, we're 100 miles. And I'm thinking in my head, okay, 65, 70 miles an hour. We should be there, hour and a half.
No. So
2 hours tops.
Just the traffic out of Ensenada is absolutely, or in Ensenada is absolutely chaotic and crazy. And there's a ton of it. And
there's no rhyme or reason. Like, you just go when you can go.
Yeah, and like it could be, the road could be 2 lanes, so 2 lanes, but you've got 3 or 4 lanes worth of traffic.
Yeah.
In there.
There's no
in the
shoulder.
2 lanes.
Like,
so
there are people waiting for buses that are like 30 yards off of the roadway so they don't get hit by the passenger vehicles that are like passing on the left and passing on the right.
And then you usually have the random ambulance coming through, trying to get through there.
Trying.
Like, here where if we see a first responder, everybody pulls over.
It's the right.
It's the law, right?
Yes.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You're asking me.
Yeah,
yes, 100%
So it's the law here.
Yeah.
Down there, it's like nobody can move because they've taken a 2-lane road or a 2-lane street and made it 3 to 4 lanes.
Yeah.
And so nobody can go anywhere.
No one can go anywhere.
And so you're trying to get ambulances through, and it's super chaotic.
And people are like crossing without crosswalks. Like, that's the one thing I noticed. Like, you just run.
Oh, there's a ton of people down there.
Like, you have grocery bags in your arms and you just run.
Yeah,
and it's
the
like
kids and
what?
all that. Yeah.
No cross. Yeah, it's a different kind of chaos. And I mentioned in the earlier podcast, I would get used to it if I was given the time to get used to it. But being down there the first time, it was like anxiety.
Yeah.
Like, I was stressed out.
And they do have, don't get us wrong, they do have pedestrian bridges that go open over.
Yes.
But I think it takes too much time because I've never seen anybody use it. They just go across the highway or the street or whatever. They just go across it. And it's very dangerous.
Also, can we just, I know this isn't in our notes, but I just thought about this. Remember when we were driving and there's like all these shops on the side of the road and there was a mattress store with all the mattresses outside and it's a dirt road?
Well, it's paved, but it's so dusty and dirty down there that there's so much dust on the road.
So you have your mattresses
it's dusty
outside.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
yeah.
There's just...
And furniture.
Yes, like all of the things.
It's all dirty.
It's all outside.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, can we talk about the landfills or what...
You mean the guy on the side of the road burning his neighbor's trash?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, so everywhere we went, that was outside of town. It was never inside of town. Like, I didn't ever see rubbish burning on the side of the street when we were in
That's
town.
because they
I
just
didn't
weren't burning
see that.
it.
Oh. I just thought when we were, like, out of town, like, headed over the like, the mountain areas and stuff, I noticed a lot of
So on the
trash
east side,
on the
of Ensenada, when we'll come back to that in an episode, which is all burned up right now, is probably because they do a lot of trash burning out there. Is my guess.
That makes sense. I just was like, but we did see trash, like rubbish collectors. We saw trucks that were collecting rubbish. So they must have landfills. They're just not as prevalent or hidden, maybe?
I think they do.
Yeah.
A lot of trash on everywhere anyways.
Everywhere,
but
yeah.
It's
coming from the States and going down there were a few things that were different. I wouldn't say that I was like, ew, or taken aback by them. It was just different. Like,
it is different. It is different. And it's just a different
and we live
lifestyle.
in a very rural area. We don't live in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have like the city trash and the city like garbage and the things that come with a city. We don't deal with that on a day-to-day basis. So being in the larger how many population? 300,000 in Ensenada?
Yeah, don't hold me to that, but I think it's like 300,000.
Okay, well, our town, and we don't even live in town, has 20,000 people. So we don't even live in the town. We live on the outskirts. So we have less population where we live. So even 20,000 people, that's what our comparative is.
I know, and when you think of a city that size, you think of a big metropolitan, and it's not like that down there. It's like going into a small town, but it's huge.
Yeah, I didn't see mass transit. I didn't see like buses.
No, there's a lot of buses. You just they just kind of are disguised.
I was gonna say I don't remember them. I just remember a lot of traffic.
They're like school buses.
I remember those.
that are painted not as school buses.
Oh yes, the white and green ones.
Yeah, and then then you have smaller ones.
Those are private school buses. They're just regular transportation.
Regular transportation. Pick up the
things I
farm
learned
workers.
now.
So yeah, but yeah, getting out of town, and even with us being on the south side of town, probably took a half hour just to get out of town.
But then we did get out of town, and there were a couple things that you wanted to make sure that I experienced while we were down there, which was the whole goal of this adventure, was to give me some background so that when you say, oh, we went to X, Y, and Z, I know where X, Y, and Z is. I know what that is. So one of the first places we went was this roadside tavern.
No.
Eatery?
Yeah, it's like just a restaurant on the side of the road, but
Like it was in the middle of
it's
absolutely nothing.
well, it is, but it's right next to race course,
Right.
which
Okay, so that makes more sense. So if you build it, they will come.
exactly.
If they're running the race course, build it.
Yeah,
But when we went, there was not a soul there.
no, and a lot of people that like go down there and ride because you'll see a lot of bikes. We saw a lot of bikes on the road, right?
We did.
And
Oh yeah, that
a
was
lot
the
of
other thing.
a lot of places will stop
Yes.
and hang out there, and I'll
Yeah.
throw up some pictures because we've stopped before on our bikes and just had some lunch, had some tacos in there. But I think, and I wanted to show you because they have a lot of rider memorabilia, a lot of jerseys in the
Yes.
rafters. Everybody's
Yes.
and down there, if you can find a place that has a lot of stickers, like race stickers,
That's what I was gonna say.
it's a good trusted place to go. So, in your travels, if you ever go down there and drive down there,
The Baja.
the
Peninsula,
Baja,
yeah.
if you see a place that's a restaurant or whatever that's got a
That
lot
looks
of
like the beer fridge.
yeah, it looks like the beer fridge, got
Yeah.
just a ton of stickers on it. Don't be afraid to go eat there. That means it's a
racer
good
approved.
place. Yeah, it's a
Well, in
great
the place
place.
we stopped, and please forgive me if I'm saying this wrong. My Spanish is still poquito. Acambaro, Baja. Acambaro, Baja.
Maybe.
It was on the side of the road. They were very friendly.
I just know they have Tecate Light and
In the cooler.
and-
She's
and-
like, just grab a
Oh,
beer
yeah.
in the cooler.
yeah, the cooler's there. You grab it.
She brought us chips and salsa,
Yeah.
and that is the other thing. We sat there for a very, very long time and never felt rushed to leave.
Oh no.
Like, never, ever felt rushed
And
to
if you
leave.
need a new beer, just go get a new beer.
Just go get a beer.
Just tell
Yeah.
me how many bottles you had at the end.
Yeah.
And that's how it really is down there.
Yeah.
Is those small places is you don't pay up front.
No.
You eat, you
You-
drink,
And then
and then when you're done, you tell them how
This
much
is
you
what I
had to
had.
eat and drink.
Yeah.
And that's just how it goes.
I was
So-
still not eating a whole lot at that point.
No, you're still a little on the mend.
I got food poisoning. If you haven't been following episodes 1 and 2, I got food poisoning not in Mexico but in California.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It was awful.
Yeah.
And the whole point, well, Wes's whole point was to show me Baja. My whole point was to eat along the Baja
Yeah.
Peninsula. Like, he told me about all this amazing food and the tacos and all of the things. And I could eat my weight in lobster and it would be like $30. And then I got sick. And
Well,
I'm
yeah,
like,
remember,
oh
you're the
my
peninsula, you're
gosh.
surrounded by the Pacific Ocean on one side and the Sea of Cortez on the other
Okay.
side. So you
I
have
cannot wait until we
so
get
much
to
Sea
the
of
Sea of
Cortez.
Cortez.
I know, I love the Sea of
Oh
Cortez.
my gosh, you guys.
It's probably my favorite.
If you are not already subscribed, do it now and hit that bell, because I promise you, you are not going to want to miss the Sea of Cortez.
Yeah, no, and check me out on Instagram because I'm always throwing
Oh,
out
yeah.
pictures up there.
At WeAdventure Northwest,
West.
it's NW.
Yeah.
Facebook, same thing. And then Patreon, www.patreon.com/WeAdventureNW. You can also sign up on a tier and support the channel, which is
Love
always
it.
nice.
Yeah, always nice. It helps out.
Yeah.
It really does help
It
out,
does.
guys.
Yeah. So we get out of the restaurant. We have a great time in there. And then we're driving along, and Wes says, "Oh my God, I got to pull over and take a picture for," what's his race name?
Who?
Keith.
Oh, no. So the travels down there, remember, it takes a while because you're going from
Takes
village
forever.
to village to village. And
Wait, did I skip something?
you skip,
I'm
yeah,
so
you skip
sorry.
a little
I
bit.
was
But
going
you
through
go
my notes. I
village,
apologize.
you get village to village. And, you know, like we said, going down there, that's why it's so slow. And in these villages, they have speed bumps. And this is on the highway.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody's
forgot
trying to
about
get
those.
in and out. And it's still chaos even down by the villages because
Yes.
it's all dirt on the side. You just have the highway and then it's
Oh,
dirt.
there's four-wheelers. And
Oh, yeah, there's
everything.
everything. There's everything.
There's just everything.
Yeah.
It's controlled chaos, but we don't know the control.
Yeah. And of course you have dirt bikes running around down there. You have side-by-sides running around down there.
Four-wheelers.
You have everything. I mean, semi-trucks. And
Oh my
and
God.
and here's where we trust a trucker.
No, we don't.
And there's a story
No,
to
we
that.
don't.
But yeah, so we get down, and it follows kind of race course. Race course goes in and out of that whole highway, and
Which every time we would cross over,
Yeah,
you
I'd
would
go,
be like,
race
there's
course,
a race course,
race
there's
course.
the race course, there's a race course.
but there was one section you come into the sand wash, and it's what's the name of it?
Oh no.
It's
Did you write it down?
I think I did. I thought it was where Colantine. I think Colantine.
Okay.
And so
It's a wash?
it's a wash. So a wash is just a sandy wash where it looks like a river going down it, but there's no water in it. It's only like flash floods, and is when they fill up. And so I had to pull over because, just in memory, we were on the bikes one evening. It was getting really late, and we had to pull in here and put on our sleeves because I had just had a vest on, and so I zipped my sleeves back on.
Right.
And then we rode down to San Quintin, which we got there in the middle of the night.
Oof. Which it gets cold.
Yeah, it does. Down there, it's warm during the day, and then once that sun goes down, it's like 30
cold.
degrees.
Yeah.
And it gets cold. But I had to take a picture of the FJ down by the wash in this corner.
Yes.
And then...
Which I didn't understand what we were
Yeah,
doing.
and I just text my buddy and said, sleeves on, and he immediately texted me back with a laugh, and he goes, I know exactly where you're at.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
we have all these great memories of riding down there.
Inside jokes.
Yeah, we
to
have a ton of inside jokes, but yeah, we put so many miles on down there that it's just it's just a second place to ride anymore.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we get past that, and we're still working our way down at.
That's where it is.
Still, Colantine.
Punta Colonet.
Colonet. Yeah, Punta Colonet.
If you are
don't
interested
know
in
if
learning
that's
a
right.
second language, try Duolingo. They're not a sponsor, but that's who we're using to learn our Spanish.
Yeah, so we get down there and we're getting pretty close to San Quintin.
San Quintin.
Yeah,
I forget
which
where we're at.
is it's kind of an inland village. It's on the coast, which is just like a couple miles. They're only a couple miles from the coastline, or inland from the
I
coast.
don't remember seeing the coast while we were there. So
Yeah, I should have taken you out because
That's
you
okay.
can just take one of the dirt roads and go right out to it. But we have a favorite place in San Quintin, which our destination was the old mill. But when we finally did get to San Quintin, that's where we had a little mishap on language barrier.
Yeah.
So our Spanish is pretty small.
and
I
spouse
know a little
communication.
bit, and I know, I mean, I can get by down there. But the intern was kind of spooked a little bit on it because
So here's what happened. We pull into this fuel station.
Mm-hmm.
And
P-Mex.
you and I are not, our Spanish is a very, very minimal. So the attendant that came to help us also had very minimal English. And
Yeah, they
like
didn't know
we were
English at
equal.
all.
Like it was very difficult. So you had asked to fill it with regular, which I don't know if that's a common practice down there because I don't know if they travel long distances. Because every time you asked to fill it up, they would question, full? Like, you want it full?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? And it's like, yes, fill it up, go ahead. And then
And I was in that mode where I kind of
you were back to normal.
I
You were
was-
easy going.
yeah,
You were
but
like,
I was also not thinking that you didn't know what they were saying at all,
no.
and I knew
You
a little bit.
understood.
I understood what they were talking about, and I'm like, yeah, fill it up full
Gasolina.
and gasolina and
Yeah.
full.
You're like,
and
see.
and they're like regular, and see. And so
when you got out of the FJ,
when
I got to him,
and I had already kind of told the intern, I said, always keep your head on the swivel. Anyways, no matter where you're at, keep your head on a swivel because you never know what's going to go on.
And you all know I'm Safety Sally, so interpreting keeping your head on a swivel is you're going to die somewhere, so just be aware.
Right.
So he gets out of the FJ, takes the keys, and leaves his phone in the cup holder. So takes the keys to the car. Yeah, he has to go to the bathroom. There are 3 men. One's filling up the FJ. The other 2 are sitting off my peripheral, right? I don't know what they're talking about. I'm just sitting there quietly, like looking at my phone, but still trying to pay attention to my surroundings. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if it hits the fan, I can't leave. Wes's windows rolled down. They can open the FJ. They can take me. I don't know where they're going to take me. All of this is going through my head. All of it. And then Wes comes back. I'm like, new rule. New rule. Leave the keys in the car and take your phone in case something happens. And you're like, oh, yeah, nothing's going to happen. Like, we've crossed that point that I'm worried about it. And I'm like, you could have told me we've crossed that point. Because now I'm like, oh.
Oh, yeah, we're in the good part now. We're not.
Yeah.
It's,
like,
we're
nothing to worry
fine.
about.
It's
You're
remote.
Fine.
We're
You're
fine.
fine.
We're
and
fine.
I'm like, you could have given me this information.
It's daylight. We're fine.
And this is why we go to all-inclusive resorts.
Yeah, I would always recommend don't travel at night.
No.
We do all the time, but don't.
You do as a team.
I would say, if you're vacationing, don't do it.
Yeah.
It's just good rule of thumb. Mm-hmm. We have to, but...
So, that was the fuel stop that you were like, no, I'm so sorry. We're fine. You're fine. We're fine. Because you did. You got back in and I'm like, we need to have a conversation. And you're like, oh, great.
No.
What is this conversation going to be?
Yeah.
And then I told you and you're like, oh, no,
you're fine.
Really?
Yeah.
You couldn't have told me that 10 minutes ago when you left the vehicle?
So we're good.
Yeah, we're fine.
Then we head down to...
Also, because of the language barrier, that's one of the things that I was most worried about going down there, is that I wouldn't be able to communicate. We wouldn't be able to communicate and get what we needed. I can tell you there was only one or two times that I felt like communication was difficult, but it wasn't impossible. So, do I think we need to learn Spanish just to be good patrons of vacationing? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, for
sure. But
I
never felt unsafe. I never felt like I wasn't understood. I felt embarrassed that I wasn't able to communicate better, but I never felt unsafe.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I feel a little... ashamed that I can't do better at communication down there.
Yes, like this is their first language. We should learn that. That's how I feel. We should know.
Yeah,
we shouldn't put them out.
If we're going to spend this much time down here, we should
Yes.
Definitely put the time in to learn.
And everyone we talked to was like, no. Yeah. We love learning Spanish. We love learning English. You will help you with Spanish. You help us with English.
Oh,
like
it was
everyone was so
like
gracious.
That. Yeah.
So gracious.
Yeah. And so when we did finally get going again, at this place, it's called
finally, the talk was that long.
So we're finally down there, and it's probably
dinner time.
Yeah, it's 5:00 or whatever.
And I'm still feeling...
I know, you're still feeling like crap.
And this was like the big event. Yeah. This is like the big food event of the vacation.
Yeah. And it's called the Wheel of Cheese. And we go down there and it's...
Wes has told me about this
it's
for
this
years. For years.
Huge wheel of, I think it's like Parmesan
Reggiano. Like it's the real deal stamped. It's like,
yeah, it's the real deal. And they put this whole brandy or whatever liquor they have, and they'll put it on, light it on fire. That's how they melt it, and then they put your pasta in there. And then they cook your pasta in there, and then then they put all the seafood, the lobster, and of course we get there.
Hold on, back it.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
We gotta stop. So we get there, and it is like, where do we go? where do we go? So we went and took pictures with the sign. Because every Mexican city has the city sign. Like, they have their city's sign. Like, Ensenada, San Quintin.
Oh,
they
yeah,
all
yeah, yeah.
have a sign.
Well, the old mill is kind of it is a little bit of a tourist attraction. And when I say that lightly, because the tourists really don't get down there. It's a fishing area.
I'd say if you were familiar with the Baja, you like the Baja route, you would be familiar with San Quintin.
It's a good stop down there.
Yeah, and it's stickered up like crazy. Wes was talking about the stickers.
Well, yeah,
stickered up like crazy.
Because it's where we go, especially on the bikes.
Yeah.
And down a race weekend, or when you get a bunch of people down there riding, that's one of the main places they stay.
Yeah. So we go to this place, we do the outdoor pictures, we do the whole thing, and then we go into this restaurant and we sit down. We're the only two people in this restaurant because it's senior citizen dinner, obviously, because we've just got into town. We're both starving. I think it was like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Pretty sure.
It wasn't really supper time. So I'm looking around. I'm kicking myself that my appetite is still not back yet. I'm totally bummed. I look over and there is this giant fish aquarium to my left. And there are...
in the Old Mill restaurant.
In the Old Mill restaurant.
Yeah.
There are giant, I am not kidding you, giant, like, I use the word obese respectfully, albino frogs. Like...
So I had to laugh about this.
Huge frogs.
They're huge.
They're ginormous.
Yeah.
And I instantly fall in love with them. And I want one. And
they look like the baby rolls, fat rolls.
Yeah, like
that's how they
on
look.
babies, like the thigh to knee and to calf roll.
Yeah.
I'm like, we need to have some of these. And this is like, absolutely not.
Yeah. And
absolutely not.
The bad thing about the restaurant right now was it's been under construction for the last couple of times. So one time I went down there, they didn't have the roof on it.
I remember you saying that.
And then this time it was still pretty much under construction. They had a brand new front door in there though. And nobody was really in there.
No.
It was pretty dead.
It was just us and then all of the workers.
Yeah.
All of the wait staff.
And they were doing an internet
there was like a press person there.
Yeah, taking pictures and stuff. Like
filming. So it was perfect that we
ordered the wheel of cheese because then they wanted to put that on. And so they made a whole really big deal about it that time.
Which was awesome. That I got to experience that.
You didn't get to eat a lot of it, but...
I didn't. But what I did eat of it, 10 out of 10. Like 12 out of 10.
Yeah. And this should be, with all the seafood and the pasta and the whole show, this should be, God, I don't know, it should be a $300 meal.
Oh, for sure.
It probably would be $300.
If it was in the States, yeah. If it was, it would.
And I think it like down there was like $37.
I think you have videos of it.
I do.
But
I'll put some pictures up.
They start out with like a cup, like what's that, like a brandy or a whiskey or something. They light it on fire. They put it in the cheese wheel. They melt the cheese. It's a whole ordeal. It takes a few minutes to melt the cheese. And then they bring out, they didn't have lobster, but they did have shrimp. So they did the shrimp for us. I can't remember if there was another type of fish.
They usually put like scallops, shrimp, lobster,
and shrimp,
and whatever the fish of the day was. They usually put that in there.
Well, and I think we were there on the off season. Like there were no races. We were the only people
there was
in the
nothing
restaurant.
going on.
There was nothing going on. So they didn't have lobster, which was fine. Because again, no appetite, couldn't eat anything. So then they put in the pasta, and it was quite the show. It was probably 8-9 minute show, 10-minute show.
Oh, for sure.
Just like preparing the wheel of cheese and then putting all the stuff in it. And then they brought it to our table, and it was like a presentation. 10 out of 10. Like if you've never experienced it, experience it there. Like it was amazing.
It was good.
Amazing.
It was good.
Our service was amazing. Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad you took me there. I want to go back when I have like my full on appetite.
Yeah.
And they have
I think the
lobster.
owner is Javier. I think Javier's
Is it Javier?
I think yeah. I got a picture of the owner too.
Yeah.
I'll put that up.
It is amazing.
I'll put it up right here. Right here.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you ever have a chance to go to the old mill and experience that, it is amazing. Amazing food. And then after we got done with dinner, so the hotel we stayed at in San Quintin, do you want to tell them about the history of the hotel?
So we found this just because they had booked it for our races. I want to say for the 400. I think they booked a room, and so we stayed there one night, and that's how we found out about it. Beautiful place. It's just a few miles down from or before the old mill, and
all of this is on dirt roads.
It's on a dirt
paved
road. No,
roads.
it's on a dirt road, but
Yeah.
it's like, and it's all desert, and there's nothing around it. And
There's
you come to it,
nothing.
and it's palm trees and
It's a true
bird of
oasis.
prey or bird of paradise.
Paradise, yeah.
Flowers all over. Fruit
They have lemon trees,
trees,
orange trees.
Yeah, and they say you can pick anything you want.
Yeah.
And it's just a little oasis, and I think it was kind of a family owned house, and they just kind of developed it into this, and it's beautiful, and now the racers have kind of figured it out, and they're staying there. Like when we pulled in there, and is it Hardin?
That sounds right.
It starts with a J, but J's in Spanish are H's, I think.
No. Yes, because double L's are J's. Yes.
Yeah.
So J's are
so
H's. Yes.
J's are H's, so it's Hardina, Baja, I think.
Yeah.
But it's close to the old mill. It's in San Quintin. I can put a link to it. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
It's
out of place.
It really is out of place
Once you
down
get there, you're like,
yeah.
They built this, and it's amazing.
And there was a bunch of riders in there, and from Canada, and they had ridden
from Canada.
Yeah, from
all
Canada.
the way down.
All the way down through the states.
There were couples and singles, and they were all together, and they wanted to know all about WeAdventure, and then we got our room, and it was upstairs. Remember, we walked by those bikers, the 3 that were downstairs, and they were talking about their ride and stuff, and you're like, where are you guys?
Yeah, and they were waiting for some more that came in too eventually, and they were just riding the Baja. They were just riding the peninsula and going down.
We saw a lot of riders.
Yeah, and you do down there that are. That's what people do, is go down on their vacations and they just ride.
I think if we trailer the bikes to an Ensenada, I would ride. No. If we trailered the bike to San Felipe, I would ride San Felipe, which is...
I would probably trailer it down to San Bernardino. We have a safe place to leave stuff in San Bernardino.
Yeah, our start place is too long.
And then I would ride from there down.
Yeah, our start place here in Oregon
is
too
far.
It's
just too far.
Too far. I wish we lived closer, but we have grandchildren, and that will never be a thing.
It doesn't work.
Never be a thing. We are rooted.
Yes.
Rooted here. So we talked about...
But after we got there, then we did. Remember, we had dinner at the old mill, and then...
We did, and then we decided...
And then we go, hey, I heard last time we stayed here, which we didn't go check out the restaurant and bar, and I thought, I'm gonna go check it out. Yeah, it's within
walking distance.
Yeah.
So if you have too many tequila shots or margaritas,
it's easy to go back to your room. But it's it's a nice restaurant bar down there, and it was packed when we were in there.
So we sat in the bar. Oh, we just had a bird hit the window. It's okay. We sat in the bar, and boy, did we meet some characters.
Oh my gosh, we met people that talked our ear off, and invited us anytime we're down to stay with them.
Yes.
And that's what you're gonna find a lot down there, is the hospitality is just out of this world.
Your family.
Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, you next time you're down here, you look me up,
know.
And you have a place to stay and all this, and then the guy next to us, which was working, he works out of Ensenada, but he was down in San Quintin for work, doing something, and he
Yeah.
had this delicious
Oh my
looking
gosh.
shrimp dish, and
You commented on
and
it.
I
You're
commented
like,
on
that
it,
looks so good.
and he's like, dude,
You wanna
he
try
slides it over,
Yeah.
and he goes, eat as much as
He
you
would
want.
not say no.
I
Say
know.
no.
He kept, I said, no,
No,
and he's like,
it
no,
just looks good. He's like,
you
no,
eat it.
help. Like, you have
yeah,
some.
it's like too much for me.
Oh my gosh.
So him and I were sitting there
Yeah,
sharing a
just
plate of shrimp, and
talking.
and that's the kind of people you meet down there, though.
People are people.
Mhm.
And we've learned that through our travels.
Oh yeah.
Media will label people.
Yep.
But once you meet people,
Mhm.
they're just like we are.
Yep.
They're kind and they're cordial and they're just full of grace.
Yeah, it's the
and
same thing.
It is. Like, we found people that were so like-minded to us, that were so kind and so open. Like, everyone we spoke to, they were interested in what we were doing. We
Mhm.
talked about their families. They, asked us about what we were doing.
Yeah.
It was just everywhere we went.
It was sincere.
I never felt like,
Yeah.
I never felt threatened
No.
or unsafe or none
So
of that.
so
Other than the gas station where you took the keys and
Yeah.
that was,
like the intern saying, if you really get a hankering to take a road trip down to Baja, do it. There's nothing to be afraid of.
No.
Don't believe everything you hear.
No.
Just go down and have fun. That's
People
what I
are
would say.
so kind. They are so generous.
Yeah.
They're so much like just people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're so grateful that you're there and you're
Oh my
experiencing
gosh,
their
yeah.
culture, and they'll tell you all about their life. And yeah, it was magical. Like, if we could figure out a way to move everyone we know and love to, I'm going to say it, San Felipe. Because we haven't got there yet on the podcast. We're going to get there. But I can tell you right now, if we could figure out a way to move everybody there, I would have no reason at all to be in the States. Like, the Sea of Cortez, San Felipe.
We'll get there. I'll tell you what. Let's
Okay.
talk about that. We got maybe 2 more episodes before we get to that. Because we got to go.
We got to drive there.
We got to
which
get.
is the whole story.
Yep. We got to get ourselves from where we're at right now is San
To
Quintin.
San
We got to
Felipe.
get to Catavina. We got to see the big cactuses.
Oh, yeah.
And
the
then
memorial.
and nope.
Oh,
and
just kidding.
It's just
that
the
after?
cactuses,
I don't
and then
know.
we're gonna get ourselves up and make a loop and get back up to San Felipe. So stay tuned.
I'm just here for the
Tune in for on the next one when we talk about that loop going from the Highway 1 to 5 and up to San Felipe.
Get ready to trust a trucker.
So, yep, trust a trucker on this one. So I hope you'll join us on the next episode. Thanks for this one, and I'll see you then, guys. See ya.